Hey, what's going on, guys? This is just going to be a quick video. Had a couple of pickups I want to show you, as well as a few other things. First, before I get into the DVDs, as you can see, I finally got the Evil Dead poster framed. This is the poster that comes with the Anchor Bay Evil Dead Ultimate Edition. Very excited to finally get a frame for this. I've been meaning to pick one up. I just completely forget about it every time I'm out. But I really like that image. As you guys know, it's a reversible poster. The other side has, the blue background. Pretty much the exact cover art of the Ultimate Edition of the Evil Dead. But I do prefer this style. There's a few different color variations. I like how the title is with the the slate green around the white lettering, and also I like the background with the woods. So yeah, I really like this poster. I think it looks great in the frame, and glad to finally have it up. Also picked up a frame for this signed Phantasm photo that I got from Ian, Cenobite 94. As you can see, I just got a basic black frame for it, which I think looks pretty cool. I'm working on getting some displays up in my room. I really want to have a Phantasm display with all my Phantasm editions, including the sphere, the stand-up that Ian also sent, and then of course, the autographed framed photo. So I'm definitely working on that. Also working on getting an Evil Dead section put together. And then once I get everything organized, I'll definitely be doing an overview of the collection room. Got a new empty DVD rack, as you can see right there. I actually went out to Walmart, had picked up a DVD rack, brought it home last night to put it together, and found out that it was missing a piece. The actual base of the DVD rack, so couldn't even start building it. Ended up having to take it back to the store this morning. They did not have another DVD rack like that, so just had to get my money back for it. Actually swung by my parents' house and found this in their basement, just stored away. This was an old one I had when I still lived with my parents. I used to have a much smaller collection obviously back then, but this was one of the first DVD racks I had ever gotten, and I used to collect my DVDs on here. And this was still stored away in their basement, so I cleaned it up and decided just to bring it home with me, and instead of buying a new DVD rack, I have this one to work with. So I'll be working on getting this one filled up soon. It won't take me too long because I have plenty of recent pickups piled up that still need to be organized and alphabetized. And finally, onto the new DVDs. 10 movies, but only 4 pickups, and you'll see why in a second. First, picked up the Spider-Man triple feature 3 DVD set. It includes all 3 Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. I got this at Walmart last night when I was picking up that defective DVD rack. Only cost me $12 and change, which I thought was a great price for all 3 films. I already own the original film right here in this limited edition DVD collector's gift set, which is really cool. I'm a big fan of the first film. I've only seen each of the sequels once, I think. Don't remember too much about them, to be honest. It's been a long time since I've seen them, and I needed to pick them up since I didn't own them already. And this was definitely cheaper just to buy this triple feature rather than to buy the 2 sequels separately. I'm not sure about the set really at all. This was the only copy they had, and it was actually hidden behind the Spider-Man Blu-rays. As I said, it was the only one there was, so I'm not sure if it was just misplaced, but I didn't see any more copies of this around the store, so I thought it was pretty cool. Snagged that up right away, and glad to have it. I'm definitely excited to be checking out the sequel sometime soon. My brother just recently went to see The Amazing Spider-Man in theaters, and he said it was awesome. He can't stop talking about it. He told me all about it. So I'm definitely curious to check that one out as well. But first, I wanted to revisit Raimi's versions of the film. Next, picked up Child's Play 2 and Child's Play 3, the single disc releases. I really love the cover art on these. It's the classic VHS cover art in each of them, which is really cool. Now, I already own both of these films. I've had them for a few years now in this set right here. Now, I know a lot of people have this set, but I also know a lot of people have the keep case version of this set. This was the original one released. It has this nice flip case. It has the 3D art here. Chucky's 3D, the weapons are 3D. So I really like this set. I prefer this one obviously to the keep case version. And I've been glad to have all 4 Chucky sequels in this set. But I really like these two individual releases just because of the cover art. As I said, I love the old VHS style cover art, as you guys know. And both of these cost me $4 and change each at my local FYE in the bargain section. So yeah, for under $10 I could get both of these with this great cover art. I figured, you know what, I may as well. It's definitely worth it for the price. Yeah, I have 2 copies of each of these sequels, but how many other films do I have multiple copies of, including the original Child's Play? So it definitely doesn't bother me to have multiple copies, as you guys know by now, and I know a lot of you are the same way. And as I said, I just really love the cover art, especially Child's Play 2. And finally, my biggest pickup of the day, and it is the Bruce Lee Ultimate Collection. Now this is actually out of print. The first price that came up on Amazon when I looked was $98 and change for this set. I mean, you can get it for cheaper than that on Amazon, but that was the first fulfillment by Amazon price on Amazon.com. There are some third-party sellers, obviously, who have used copies starting at, say, $12 or so, and also the new copies start at around $50. I got this brand new for $20. And the reason it was so cheap was because there was noticeably loose discs inside. You could hear them shaking around a little bit. So I was a little nervous about that. But as I said, I know it's out of print, and the price was definitely good, you know, the $20 for the 5 films. And, you know, I took it up. I just figured I would take the chance. I let the cashier know that they were loose inside, so, you know, I was going to check out the discs when I got in the car. And, you know, if they were scratched, I would just take them back, you know. So opened them up in the car, and sure enough, there was 2 discs in there loose, and neither of them had a mark on them. So I was really happy about that. Really glad to have this set now. I've been really wanting to see Way of the Dragon. That one was recommended to me a while back when I picked up Enter the Dragon. I believe that's the one where he fights Chuck Norris, so that'll be pretty cool to see. But it also includes The Big Boss, which was Bruce Lee's first film appearance, I believe. There's also Fist of Fury, Way of the Dragon, Game of Death, and Game of Death 2. As we all know, Game of Death was Bruce Lee's final appearance in a film. So really cool. Glad to have this set. You know, I'm not big into, you know, martial arts films by any means, as you guys know. I mentioned that when I picked up Enter the Dragon. But I'm definitely curious to check these out. You know, I mean, Bruce Lee is a legend. From what I have seen with him, you know, he's just amazing to watch. So really cool to have this set. And of course, as I said, it is out of print. So either way, I was pretty much going to buy it for that price. So yeah, that's it, guys. Comment below. Let me know what you think as always. And thank you for watching.